Here we have our marketing plan for expert cerveceros. Cerveceros, our group is Juan David Jiménez, Juan Diego Chimo Vázquez, Daniel Eduardo Carranza, María Valentina Gutiérrez, Johan Sebastián Rivera, and me, Laura Sofía Tobar. Now, the content of our marketing plan is analysis of the situation, so what and marketing problem, objectives and growing up strategy, and so and analysis of the trends.
Okay, so for the analysis of the situation, we were a company born in 2018. We were born as an Instagram project, but now we have received a lot of national awards. Our mission and vision is basically to generate true value of the beer culture in Colombia and around the world and win the customers' trust about the products we actually recommend. We have some corporate objectives. That is one, to become a very leading beer review brand and be part of the advertising campaigns also of big beer brands. We have for the actually company position in the market share, we have been growing little by little, but now we have a lot of thousands of followers, so we have the trust of many people, in this case our consumers. The product we actually offer is the recommendation of the beers itself of different brands. And our marketing environment analysis for the macro environment is that the beer industry in the country has actually increased 0.5% of the participation by 2022 this year, and it has been very affected by COVID-19 and also because of the battle. So Colombia is a very rich country in biodiversity, and it's a really happy and folkloric culture. Colombia is a fascinating country and blends together its European, African, and indigenous roots. For the microenvironment, our company of Expertos Cerveceros has an intermediary that helps them with the production of publications for their customers. And Colombia is actually the third country in the world with more consumption in beer. So this actually has led us to actually gain a lot of customers here in the country.
The second part of analysis of the situation, that I have 2 points. The first is market necessities, and this refers to how the consumer behaves and what are his needs, states, or what does he need to make him feel satisfied. Well, expertos cerveceros analyze the great variety of consumer behavior in order to launch their marketing campaign and to obtain the expected results, generating the value and a solid brand identity. Well, expertos cerveceros must adopt the following course: customers need to create wants and wants to create demand. For this, the company marketing actions have to be created in order to reach, maintain, and grow the desired chain like a type of relationship with customer. For this, the company must create needs, make the consumer want to try different beer flavors, and as mentioned previously, have a new experience in respect to the sense like taste or smell. And well, this is important because in order for the company to maintain a solid relationship with the customers, it needs to avoid the boredom and divorce stage. What does it mean? It means that Expertos Cerveceros should aim to maintain like a fresh and exciting relationship with the customers with the purpose of maintaining the relationship stable. And the second point is the substitute products. These offer our old and new clients new buying opportunities, and for us as a brand, it offers more engagement as we provide the quality, good or better alternatives by focusing on competitive differentiation, creating a competitive advantage in the marketplace.
Okay, now regarding the SWOT analysis, within the strengths, the company has a great variety of beers that can manage also a good handling of social networks as business tools, dynamic leaders, and interested in improving the services and increasing their recognition. On the other hand, the company has two weaknesses that are the lack of their own beer brand in order to expand their business and that they do not have a website for customers to know more about them. Also, talking about the opportunities, the company has a wide variety of existing beers and companies focus on its production to be their next customers. They also can look up to participate or create advertising events to attract a larger audience, and at last, there exists no specialized publicity training in order for them to specialize in certain aspects. Finally, the threats they have are the huge number of competitors and authorized distributors and the constant challenge in advertising preference and needs of customers. Okay, in the next, that is the marketing problem. Um, Taking into account the work that Experto Cerveceros brand has done since its creation, we realize that it has a moderate impact and has some strategic areas that allow it to grow and reach recognition, but not as it could. So the marketing problem is how can Experto Cerveceros company increase their customers and thus achieve company growth implementing a growing up strategy? For this, we will propose methods and actions for the brand to be leader in its field, as well as study some strategies to generate a greater impact to attract customers.
Now, our general objective is encourage the culture aspect of the beer, the history, and the main recipes made with beer to be able to get to more people with the products that Expertos Cerveceros promotes. Now, our specific objectives. So the first one, do a campaign for people to be aware and have control when drinking beer. That's really important. The second one is publicate the different craft beers in order to encourage people to taste them. The third one is increment the views of the publications. And the fourth one is reach more people on Instagram.
The growing up strategy answers have four parts. The first is the market penetration that we propose do a study for search or potential clients and or segmentation market. The second one is the market development that is a strategy where the company try to enter a new market for his improve your sellers. There is the product development. In this part, we propose that expert servicer invest in a his own bureau. The last is the last thing of the answer is the diversification that we propose. The Spector Serviceros do a new type of business that other page that we can see other reference like being like tequila or whiskey.
Right. So the first step in this part is making the matrix mix. So this method has the objective of making the main variables appear, the influence of the dependent. We took into account the following variables or trends for the matrix mix: branding with purpose, brand promise, country brand, Instagram publicity, and page reviews. As you can see in the graphic, all 5 points are in the conflict zone. So what does it mean? It means that these variables produce a strong impact, but at the same time they also depend on the change in the other variables. Okay, the next part for the analysis of the trends are the segmentation, targeting, and the positioning CTP. So, in the market segmentation, we focus on the segment of people who sell beers, but also on the people that like to consume a good quality of beers, and the ones that are interested in the culture of beer. The next step is the segmentation strategy. So, We focus on a subgroup of people who consume beer on this entire segment through their variety of beers and other drinks. Then we have the moments of consumption. The consumption of beer generated by the Colombian population are from Thursday to Saturday. About the 50% of the beer produced and sold in the country, is consumed in these days. So, this leads us to understand the cultural movement and interest around the world of beer in Colombia is real and abundant. Now, the next step is the geographical segmentation. Expertos Cerveceros is a 100% Colombian brand that is responsible for promoting the sale of different types of beers. Now we pass to the patterns of target market selection. The first part is the segment profile. So here we focus on persons of legal age who frequent beer consumption, so they are allowed to drink beer. But Expertos Cerveceros is specific interested on those who are interested in the beer culture. Uh, in this segment profile, we take into account the detail of the profile, geographic profile, psychographic profile, and the behavior profile. Now, we go to the target. So we identify the segment of Expertos Cerveceros based on statistical data. So according to Portafolio Magazine in Colombia, in this year that you're seeing, it was considered the third country with the highest consumption of beer. So we again understand that this interest of beer is really high in Colombia. Now we go to the segmentation and the micro-segmentation. So in the segmentation, we have that the behavior, hobbies, and tastes of the target are the most important aspects to take into account for the provision of our service. Now in the micro-segmentation, so the general purpose of this one lies in being able to create value strategies corresponding to each and every one of the viewers or people interested in our service or products. So one of the main examples that we made are beer drinking men, beer drinking women, craft beer drinking men, women who drink and craft drink craft beer. Now we have the position. Um, the position the positioning it refers to factors that allows a company to produce goods or services better and more cheaply than its rivals. Inside this, we have competitive advantage, positioning strategy, and positioning statement. So, in competitive advantage, cost structure, branding, and the quality of the service offered, the intellectual property and the consumer services are the ones that we result the most, highlight the most, sorry. And the next one, the positioning strategy. It's important to take into account the strengths and the weaknesses of the organization as well as the needs of the consumer and competitor in the market to be able to have a good positioning strategy. Then we have the positioning statement. So the positioning statement is a concise description of the target market as well as a compelling picture of how the company wants the market to perceive the brand. So for this reason, a good positioning statement for Expertos Cerveceros brand could be that Expertos Cerveceros brand is the best option among all publicity advertising on Instagram because the quality of the work and the reach of our brand on networks such as Instagram.